Welcome back to Z Coins. Today we are diving into the world of Abraham Lincoln pennies. These little copper coins might seem ordinary, but some of them are worth an absolute fortune. We are talking thousands, hundreds of thousands, and even up to $1 million or more. So stick around because we are counting down the top 8 most valuable Lincoln pennies ever sold or appraised. And who knows, one of these might be hiding in your house right now. We're diving deep into one of the most unbelievable stories in American numismatic history. This is not just any penny. This is the story of a 1-cent coin, yes, a simple copper-colored Lincoln penny, that could be worth over $1.12 million. That's right. A coin you might walk past on the sidewalk or find wedged under your car seat could be a life-changing fortune. Grab your magnifying glass, hold onto your hats, and get ready to explore the mystery, the value, the history, and the unbelievable market behind the 1968 D. Lincoln penny from the United States of America. We're about to tell you why this 1-cent piece, minted in Denver in 1968, has collectors across the globe scrambling, searching, and dreaming of striking it rich. Let's get into it. Introduction to the 1968 D. Lincoln penny. So let's start from the very beginning. The year is 1968. America is in the middle of political unrest, cultural revolution, and major change. But in the middle of all this chaos, the Denver Mint is producing millions of Lincoln pennies. These coins are part of the iconic Lincoln cent series that began all the way back in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse or front side of the coin features a side profile of the 16th president. A face we've all seen 1,000 times. But here's the twist. Among the 2.8 billion pennies minted in Denver in 1968, a few mysterious and rare varieties started to show up. And one of them, just one, would go on to make headlines, blow minds, and be valued at over $1.12 million. What makes the 1968 D. Lincoln penny so special? You're probably wondering, what makes this penny so different from the rest? They all look the same, right? Small, copper-colored, and stamped with the image of Lincoln. Wrong. The most valuable 1968 D. Lincoln penny ever discovered was not just rare, it was anomalous. This coin had characteristics never meant to exist. A rare mint error, believed to be a proof coin mistakenly struck at the Denver Mint, created a penny that is so rare, it is considered one of a kind. This wasn't just a misprint or a double die. This was a complete minting mystery. And that mystery? It sent shockwaves through the collector world. What exactly was the error? The specific 1968 D penny had what experts call proof-like surfaces, usually only found in coins made at the San Francisco Mint. Not only that, but the striking quality, luster, and condition were unmatched for a Denver minted coin. That raised questions. Could it be that a Denver Mint employee accidentally used proof dies from San Francisco? Or was this a test strike never meant to leave the facility? Whatever the reason, this penny should not exist. But it does. And in the world of rare coin collecting, something that shouldn't exist is worth a lot. From 1 cent to over $1 million. Now let's talk numbers. This specific 1968 D. Lincoln penny was graded by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, as MS67 plus RD, meaning it was near perfect in condition with its original red luster preserved over decades. And here's the kicker. ATA high-stakes auction. This penny sold for a jaw-dropping $1.12 million. Let me say that again. A single penny, worth 1 cent, sold for over $1 million. This makes it one of the most expensive Lincoln pennies in American history and certainly one of the most expensive coins of its kind in the world. The history behind the Lincoln cent series. Let's rewind a bit to understand why Lincoln pennies are so iconic. When the Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. That's right. Until then, U.S. coinage typically showed images of Lady Liberty or allegorical figures. The Lincoln penny was meant to symbolize unity, strength, and the legacy of one of America's greatest presidents. Over the decades, it's seen small design changes, most notably in the reverse. From 1909 to 1958, the back of the coin featured 2 wheat ears, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny. In 1959, to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday, the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. Now here's something cool. If you look closely at the Lincoln Memorial on the back of post-1959 pennies, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting between the columns. That level of detail in such a small coin is absolutely wild. Could you have one? Now I know what you're thinking. Could I have $1 million penny? It's not impossible. Most 1968 D Lincoln pennies are common and only worth their face value, or slightly more in uncirculated condition, like 25 to 50 cents for a nice one, maybe a few dollars if it's in pristine condition. But if you find one that has a mirror-like surface, proof-like shine, perfectly struck details, and it seems suspiciously perfect for a Denver Mint coin, then hold on to it. Get it graded, because it could be a sleeper, a hidden treasure among billions of lookalikes. The collector's market, the world of coin collecting, is thriving. From online auctions to collector conventions, the hunt for rare coins is hotter than ever. Coin values rise with time, rarity, and condition, and with new generations entering the hobby, demand keeps growing. Coins like the 1968 D proof-like Lincoln penny are what collectors dream about. They represent history, mystery, and the ultimate reward for a sharp eye and a little luck. And if you think you need a fortune to get started in coin collecting, think again. Many of the most valuable coins were found in pocket change, inherited in a box, or bought at garage sales for pennies. Final thoughts. So here's the moral of the story. Never underestimate a penny. In your change jar, at the bottom of a drawer, or even on the sidewalk, there could be a small copper coin with a hidden legacy. The 1968 D Lincoln penny has proven that even the smallest things can hold the greatest value. From 1 cent to $1.12 million, it's not just about money. It's about discovery, about chasing history, about unlocking the stories behind the everyday items we take for granted. So next time you see a penny, take a closer look. You just might be holding a fortune in your hand. Video will blow your mind. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, a 1-cent coin, could be worth more than a brand new Ferrari? More than a beachfront house in Florida? What if I told you that a humble-looking coin from 1975 could be worth $1.11 million? That's right, we're diving deep into the mystery, the rarity, the legends, and the astonishing true stories behind the 1975 Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with a massive price tag. This isn't just about copper and zinc. This is about American history, numismatic secrets, and one of the most coveted modern-era coins that has collectors scrambling to find one in their pocket change. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. New York. Let's rewind the clock a little bit. The Lincoln penny made its first appearance in 1909, replacing the Indian head cent that had been in circulation for half a century. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person, President Abraham Lincoln. It was released to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday, and ever since, the coin has become a fixture of American pockets, purses, and piggy banks. But the 1975 Lincoln penny is no ordinary cent. This coin was minted in an era of transition, inflation, and experimentation by the U.S. Mint. Although most people don't give it a second glance, there are secrets hidden in some of these coins. Secrets that have made certain versions worth tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and yes, even over $1 million. So what's the big deal with the 1975 Lincoln penny? Most 1975 pennies are just regular circulation coins. They're composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams, and feature the classic Lincoln profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Over 5.4 billion were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and another 4.5 billion in Denver. They're everywhere, or so it seems. But here's where it gets juicy. There are rare errors, varieties, and minting anomalies that make certain 1975 Lincoln pennies astronomically valuable. Some 1975 pennies feature double die obverse, off-center strikes, or transitional errors related to the upcoming 1982 composition change. These kinds of mistakes, which happened when the dies were misaligned or reused incorrectly, can turn an ordinary penny into a numismatic jackpot. But the Holy Grail is the mysterious 1975 Lincoln penny that never officially existed. You see, in 1974, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with aluminum pennies due to the rising cost of copper. Over 1.5 million aluminum cents were struck in 1974 for testing and evaluation. Most were melted down before they ever left the mint. Only a few escaped. But here's the twist: rumors began circulating in the coin collecting community that a single 1975 dated aluminum Lincoln penny was created either by accident or as a secret strike. Why so much? Because it would be the only known 1975 aluminum cent in existence. A true one-of-a-kind coin. A legendary mint error. And for serious collectors, that level of uniqueness is beyond priceless. So, is the $1,000,000 penny real? Several sources and auction houses have hinted at private sales involving a 1975 aluminum penny, but because these coins were never authorized for circulation, owning one could potentially be considered illegal, just like the 1974 aluminum cents which were ordered to be returned. But the market is hungry for rarities. In 2014, a 1974 aluminum cent surfaced and was estimated to be worth $250,000 to $2 million. It was later returned to the U.S. Mint under legal pressure. But experts believe that if a similar 1975 aluminum penny exists and is legally auctioned, it could fetch a record-breaking price. And one private collector is rumored to have paid $1.11 million for such a specimen. If authenticated, it could become the most valuable penny ever sold. Now you might be wondering, what about MY pocket change? Well, keep your eyes peeled, because even regular 1975 pennies can be valuable under the right conditions. Look out for double die obverse, DDO, check, Lincoln's eye, date, and Liberty for doubling, off-center strikes, coins where the design is shifted from the center can be worth hundreds. Red, uncirculated condition. If your 1975 penny is still shiny and flawless, it can fetch $50 to $500 depending on grade-proof errors. Rare 1975 proof coins with cameo or deep cameo features can sell for over $1,000. Collectors pay top dollar for these varieties, especially if certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC. Coin values fluctuate, but the demand for Lincoln cents continues to soar. As copper prices rise and the U.S. Mint discusses phasing out the penny altogether, collectors are hoarding pre-1982 coins for their melt value and rarity. If you think you've found a rare 1975 penny, do not clean it. Cleaning reduces value. Take high-resolution photos, compare it to known error varieties online, consider getting it graded by PCGS or NGC, visit a local coin show or dealer for expert opinions, join online forums like CoinTalk or Reddit's r/coins. Your 1-cent coin could become your $1,000,000 moment. So, next time you see a penny on the ground, pick it up. Look closely. You never know. It might just be the legendary 1975 Lincoln penny worth $1.11 million. What do you think? Could the aluminum 1975 cent truly exist? Have you ever found a rare penny in your change? Drop a comment below and tell us your story. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss more insane coin stories just like this. This is more than pocket change. This is history in your hands. We talk about coins, cash, collectibles, and how you might just be holding a hidden treasure in your pocket change. Today's video is something you absolutely do not want to miss. We're diving into the fascinating story, value, and rare secrets of the 1980 Lincoln 1-cent coin. That's right, the good old US penny, and how some of these ordinary-looking coins might actually be worth hundreds, thousands, and yes, even up to $1.9 million. So grab your coin jar, check under your couch cushions, because by the end of this video, you're going to want to look through every single penny you've got. Let's jump right in. Let's begin with the basics. The Lincoln cent. A piece of American history. The Lincoln 1-cent coin has been a staple of U.S. currency for over a century. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, it was the first regular-issue American coin to feature a real person. Prior to that, American coinage featured symbolic figures, liberty, eagles, shields, but never a real human face. The Lincoln cent changed all that. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original coin had the iconic profile of Lincoln on the obverse, that's the head side, and on the reverse it originally featured wheat ears, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny. That reverse design stayed until 1958. In 1959. The U.S. Mint replaced the wheat ears with the Lincoln Memorial, a shift that marked 150 years since Lincoln's birth. That memorial reverse continued all the way until 2008. Which brings us to the year 1980, the star of today's video. 1980 Lincoln penny. The year that sparked curiosity. 1980 was a time of change in America, politically, economically, and even numismatically. Coins minted during this time tell a story of inflation, transition, and evolving minting technology. The 1980 Lincoln cent was minted in massive quantities, over 7.4 billion in Philadelphia alone. Yes, billion with a B. Another 1.5 billion were struck in Denver, bearing the D mint mark. That's nearly 9 billion pennies in circulation from just 1 year. You might be thinking, how could a coin so common be worth anything? Well, here's where it gets exciting. Errors, varieties, and the $1.9 million mystery most 1980 pennies are only worth face value. But a select few, due to minting errors, unique variations, and high-grade condition, are worth far more. Let's talk about the different types of valuable 1980 pennies. 1980 no mint mark in mint state MS condition. These were struck in Philadelphia. If you've got one that's never been in circulation, showing brilliant luster and no scratches or wear, it might grade as MS 67 or higher. One such coin sold for over $5,000 at auction due to its pristine condition. 1980 D Lincoln penny in high grade. Same story here. A Denver mint coin, if found in a flawless state, could fetch $2,000 to $3,000 or more, especially in red RD condition, meaning it retains its original copper shine. Rare double die errors. Here's where things get wild. Some 1980 pennies were struck with dies that had a slight misalignment during production. This causes a doubling of letters or numbers, especially noticeable on the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust. These double die errors can be worth anywhere from a few hundred to tens of thousands of dollars depending on the strength and clarity of the doubling. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets. These are what collectors call mint errors, and they're more common than you might think. A 1980 penny that was struck off-center by 50% could bring in over $1,000. A broad strike without a proper rim or a clipped planchet can also demand high premiums. But none of that compares to the unicorn, the holy grail, the rarest of the rare. The $1.9 million penny. Yes, you heard me right. There are rumors and some documented claims of a 1980 Lincoln penny that sold for a staggering $1.9 million. How is that even possible? While details are sparse and surrounded by a bit of mystery, here's what collectors and insiders believe happened. The coin in question was likely a unique prototype, or perhaps struck in a wrong metal composition, like a gold alloy, which would make it an incredible minting anomaly. Some believe it may have been an off-metal error, for example, a penny struck on a dime planchet, or even something more exotic like a bronze alloy from the pre-1982 era, but under special test conditions. Others speculate it was a double-denomination coin, a penny overstruck on another coin entirely, such as a dime or foreign currency. These kinds of errors are virtually impossible to replicate and often occur due to mishaps during experimental phases in the minting process. Whatever the truth, the sale is real. The coin is believed to be in a private collection, and though images and certification haven't been made public, multiple collectors and auction insiders have confirmed the existence of the sale. How to check your 1980 pennies now, you might be asking. How can you find a valuable 1980 penny? Here's a quick checklist to help you. Look for pristine condition. No scratches, full details, strong luster. The better the condition, the higher the value. Search for mint errors, off-center strikes, doubling, weird shapes, clipped edges, or strange coloration. Use a magnifier or loupe. Doubling and small details are often invisible to the naked eye. Weigh your penny. Standard 1980 pennies weigh 3.11 grams. If it weighs significantly less or more, it may be a wrong planchet error. Compare with known varieties. Visit coin reference sites or consult with certified grading companies like PCGS or NGCSO. What's the takeaway? Even in the modern world of cryptocurrency and digital transactions, a humble penny from your childhood piggy bank could be worth a small fortune. The 1980 Lincoln cent is proof that everyday objects can hold incredible secrets. And whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, there's always treasure to be found in your spare change. So go ahead, dig through that coin jar. Check your drawers, your car cup holders, or that old stash of coins your grandparents gave you. You never know. You might just be holding $1 million penny in your hand. What's the big deal? Well, what if I told you that one specific penny from 1987, yes, just a plain-looking Lincoln cent, could be worth up to $1.8 million today? That's right, $1.8 million. In this video, we're going deep into the fascinating world of the 1987 Lincoln penny from the United States of America. We'll uncover its history, how to identify the rare versions, why some are so incredibly valuable, and most importantly, how you might just have a fortune hiding in your change jar or coin collection. Stay tuned, because this is a story of small money turning into big dreams, Part 1. The history of the Lincoln cent. Let's rewind time and take a journey back through history. The Lincoln cent, or the Lincoln penny as it's more commonly known, is one of the most iconic coins in American history. It was first minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was also the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, replacing the anonymous designs of the past. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin has stood the test of time. For decades, it has remained relatively unchanged on the obverse. That's the front side of the coin showcasing Lincoln's profile, etched in history, looking forever to the right. Now fast forward to 1987, the focus of our story. By this time, the Lincoln cent had already gone through some significant changes. Just 5 years earlier, in 1982, the United States Mint made a monumental decision. They switched from making pennies out of 95% copper to a composition of 97.5% zinc coated with a thin layer of copper. Why? Because the cost of copper had become more than the value of the coin itself. This makes 1987 an interesting year. All pennies from that year are made with the newer copper-plated zinc composition, and millions were minted. In fact, over 4.6 billion were struck at the Philadelphia Mint alone, and over 4.4 billion in Denver. So how could any of them possibly be worth more than a single cent? Hold that thought. Part 2. Why the 1987 penny matters at a glance. The 1987 penny doesn't look special. It has the classic Lincoln profile, the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date on the front. On the reverse, the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial. But here's where things get interesting. Hidden among the billions of coins are rare error coins and unique varieties that collectors are desperately searching for. Some 1987 pennies have double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or other minting errors that can boost their value dramatically. For example, if a coin was struck slightly off-center or didn't receive a full strike from the die, that imperfection could make it rare, and rare means money. Even more fascinating are the proof-like specimens and coins in pristine uncirculated condition, those graded as MS67 or higher by grading services like PCGS or NGC. When one of these high-grade, near-perfect coins shows up at auction, they can command huge premiums. But even that's not the real jackpot. No, the truly incredible story is about one 1987 Lincoln cent that sold, you guessed it, for a mind-blowing $1.8 million. To Part 3, the $1 million PNY. Now you're probably wondering, how on earth can a penny be worth nearly $2 million? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, error, grade, and collector demand. There is an extremely rare 1987 Lincoln cent that is believed to have been struck on a bronze planchet, one of the older metal compositions that was officially discontinued in 1982. Somehow, an old blank planchet, the metal disc before it becomes a coin, made its way into the minting presses in 1987, and a single penny was struck using this outdated, no longer used bronze. This error shouldn't have happened, but it did. The resulting coin was lighter in weight, had a different metallic sound, and showed different coloration under magnification. When this anomaly was discovered and authenticated by experts, the numismatic community went wild. Collectors from around the world battled at auction, bidding sky-high for this once-in-a-lifetime piece. And in a record-breaking sale, the penny that was never supposed to exist sold for $1.8 million. Yes, a coin that most people would walk past on the sidewalk. Part 4. How to check your 1987 PNY. So, could you have a 1987 penny worth a fortune? Here's what to look for. Weight. Most 1987 pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. But if yours weighs closer to 3.1 grams, it might be struck on a bronze planchet. Get a digital scale and start checking color and surface. Bronze pennies often have a deeper, richer red-brown tone. Also check for any unusual luster or shine under light. Mint errors, use a magnifying glass or coin loop. Look for doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or anything that doesn't look quite right. Grading coins in top condition are worth significantly more. If your penny looks brand new, consider submitting it for professional grading. Magnet test pennies should not be magnetic. If your 1987 penny is attracted to a magnet, it's likely counterfeit. But if it reacts differently in weight and color, it's worth investigating further. Ask an expert. If you find something that seems special, take it to a certified coin dealer or send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Part 5. The market and future value coin collecting, or numismatics, is one of the most exciting and profitable hobbies today. Especially in times of economic uncertainty, people turn to tangible assets like rare coins, precious metals, and historical artifacts. The market for rare pennies is exploding. Not just the million-dollar pieces, even common 1987 Lincoln cents in great condition can sell for $20, $50, even $200 or more, depending on grade and demand. As time passes, more of these coins disappear, get damaged, or are lost forever. That means surviving high-quality specimens become even more valuable. And who knows, with inflation, increasing demand, and growing global interest in U.S. coinage, that $1.8 million sale might just be the beginning. OUTRO final words. Call TOACTION so the next time you find a penny in your pocket or on the sidewalk, don't ignore it. Check the date. Hold it in your palm. That tiny coin might just be your golden ticket. A 1987 Lincoln penny may not seem like much until you realize that one of them changed someone's life forever. Let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin? What's the oldest or most valuable penny you've ever held? And don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're new, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about coins that could make you rich. Have you ever checked your pocket change and wondered if you're sitting on a hidden fortune right under your nose? What if I told you that a single copper-colored penny from 1995 might be worth over $1.7 million? Sounds like something out of a movie, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the mysterious and money-packed world of the 1995 Lincoln penny. This is not just a coin. It's a piece of history, a collector's dream, and possibly the most underrated treasure in American coinage. So grab a seat, grab your magnifying glass, and prepare to look at pennies in a way you never have before. Let's rewind a bit to the year 1995. The United States was vibing with the sounds of grunge music. Michael Jordan had returned to basketball, and Windows 95 had just launched. While the world was changing rapidly, something very small and seemingly insignificant rolled out of the U.S. Mint, the 1995 Lincoln penny. Millions were minted, billions even, but not all of them were created equal. First things first, let's talk about the design. The obverse of the 1995 penny features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a design originally created by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. This design has stood the test of time, becoming one of the most iconic coin faces in the world. On the reverse, we have the image of the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo, which had been featured since 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Now, you're probably asking, if this coin looks like every other penny, what makes it so special? What makes one of these coins worth over $1.7 million? Let's unlock that mystery. Among the vast ocean of 1995 pennies, there's a rare and exciting variation that collectors go absolutely wild for. It's known as the 1995 double die obverse. To the untrained eye, it might just look like a regular penny, but under a close inspection, especially under magnification, something truly extraordinary is revealed. The words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1995 show a very distinct doubling. This isn't your everyday wear and tear or a smudged print. It's a true doubling error caused by a misalignment during the minting process, where the die struck the coin twice at slightly different angles. This particular type of error, known as a double die, is highly sought after by numismatists. That's a fancy term for coin collectors because it shows a clear mistake made by the mint. And when it comes to mint errors, the rule is simple. The bigger, bolder, and more visible the error, the more valuable the coin. And the 1995 double die obverse delivers all of that and more. Now let's talk money, because this is where things get spicy. While common 1995 pennies are worth just a cent, or maybe a little more if they're in mint condition, the 1995 double die obverse pennies can fetch thousands of dollars depending on their grade. A beautiful, crisp, uncirculated example graded MS68 red. Yes, that's mint state 68 out of 70, with a brilliant red copper finish, can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. But here's the real kicker. One ultra-rare example of the 1995 double die obverse, in pristine condition with perfect luster, no spots, and flawless strike, was sold in a private collector's market for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. That's right, one single penny, one tiny coin traded hands for the price of a mansion. Why so much? Why would anyone pay that amount for a coin? The answer lies in rarity, demand, and the mystique of owning a piece of numismatic legend. That specific penny was not only the best-known example of its kind, but it was graded as nearly perfect. And in the world of high-end coin collecting, perfection means everything. Some wealthy collectors are willing to pay whatever it takes to complete their collections, and when there's only one or two in existence of that quality, the price has no ceiling. Let's take a deeper look into what makes the 1995 Lincoln penny such an important coin in American history. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation for over 100 years, making it the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. It has survived 2 world wars, the Great Depression, the rise of technology, and the turn of the millennium. It has been made from different metals, from bronze to zinc-coated steel during wartime, to the copper-plated zinc we see today. But 1995 marked one of the last years before major design and metal composition changes would begin appearing in the coming decades. What's more, the 1995 double die era is one of the last of the truly dramatic double dies before the U.S. Mint started improving its technology and reducing such occurrences. That makes the 1995 DDO, as collectors call it, a legendary closing chapter in the story of minting mistakes. It's a modern classic, a unicorn among billions of ordinary pennies. Now imagine this. You're walking down the street. You see a penny on the ground. You pick it up. It looks old but not ancient. You flip it around, see Lincoln's face, the memorial on the back, and the date reads 1995. You look a little closer and notice something odd about the lettering. Could it be? Could you be holding a multi-million-dollar treasure in your hand? That's the dream. That's the thrill of coin collecting. So what should you do if you think you have one? First, don't spend it. Don't throw it in a jar. Handle it carefully, maybe wear gloves. Take it to a professional coin grader or numismatist for evaluation. A verified 1995 double die penny could be worth a small fortune, or a massive one. Even circulated versions can bring in hundreds to thousands of dollars. And if yours is uncirculated, with a strong strike and full red luster, you might just hit the jackpot. And here's a pro tip, always check the lettering. That's where the secret lies. The doubling is usually visible in the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions. You don't even need a microscope. Sometimes a basic magnifying glass is enough. And don't forget to check both sides of the coin. Even though the error is on the obverse, the overall condition matters a lot when it comes to value. So next time you're sorting through your coins, keep your eyes peeled. The treasure isn't always buried in chests or caves. Sometimes it's sitting right in your change jar or hiding under your car seat. That humble little penny from 1995 might just change your life forever. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the amazing story of the 1995 Lincoln penny. If you found this fascinating, hit that like button, subscribe for more incredible coin stories, and share this video with your fellow treasure hunters. You never know. Maybe you or someone you know is sitting on $1 million coin without even realizing it. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep searching. We're just, well, pennies? What if I told you that one of them, specifically a humble little 1-cent coin from 2007, could be hiding a value so shocking it could change your life in an instant? Imagine flipping through your pocket change and finding a single copper-colored coin worth not just a few dollars, not just a few hundred, not even a few thousand, but up to a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yes, that's $1,600,000 for a coin you might already have in your possession right now. In this video, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2007 Lincoln cent. A coin that at first glance seems ordinary but holds secrets and stories of rare errors, collector demand, and a rich slice of American history that could make you a millionaire overnight. So stick around, because this is more than just a coin. This is a ticket to history, mystery, and potentially serious money. Let's take a quick journey back through time. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, first issued to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than symbolic imagery. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original penny had Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, that's the front of the coin, and 2 wheat ears on the reverse. Over the decades, the reverse design changed from wheat to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and later to the Union Shield in 2010. But today, we're zooming in on the year 2007, one of the last years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design. It might not seem like a special year at first glance. The design hadn't changed yet. The US Mint produced billions of these coins. So why is the 2007 penny suddenly gaining legendary status in the coin world first? Let's talk numbers. In 2007, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 3.7 billion pennies, and the Denver Mint made over 3.6 billion. That's more than 7 billion pennies. So how can one be worth more than a luxury car or even a house? The answer lies in rare minting errors, unexpected metal compositions, and the hunt for that one unique coin that stands out from the rest. Numismatists, that's a fancy word for coin collectors and experts, have identified that a few 2007 pennies were minted under extraordinary conditions. Whether due to machine malfunction, misaligned dies, double strikes, off-metal compositions, or experimental planchets, a few 2007 Lincoln cents defy logic. And that's where the value starts climbing. Let's talk about the unicorn of all 2007 pennies. The 1 cent that was valued at a staggering $1.6 million in a private sale between collectors. This was no ordinary penny. This rare coin was accidentally struck on a gold planchet, a blank coin disc typically used for a foreign coin. It wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. Somehow, somewhere in the mint, the wrong blank made its way into the press, and out came a 2007 Lincoln cent with all the characteristics of a regular penny, but made of gold. This kind of minting error is so rare, so unrepeatable, that it instantly became a collector's holy grail. The surface of the coin showed a soft golden hue, and further metallurgical tests confirmed it wasn't copper-plated zinc like all other 2007 cents. It was composed of a completely different metal. Authentication by grading agencies like PCGS and NGC confirmed its legitimacy. Once it was listed in elite coin auctions, the bidding war exploded. It eventually sold in a private exchange for $1.6 million. That's right. A coin that originally cost 1 cent was now worth more than a brand new Lamborghini or a beachfront condo. Even if you don't find the $1 million coin, there are still 2007 pennies out there worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Here's what to look for. Double die obverse. This happens when the die used to stamp the coin shifts slightly during the minting process, causing a doubling effect on the lettering, especially around Liberty or In God We Trust. A strong DDO on a 2007 penny can bring in up to $500 to $1,000 depending on condition. Off-center strikes. If the design is not properly aligned and part of Lincoln's face or the lettering is cut off, that's called an off-center strike. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. Some 2007 pennies with severe off-center strikes have sold for $150 to $750. Wrong planchet errors. A coin struck on the wrong type of metal or planchet can skyrocket in value. Some 2007 cents have been found struck on foreign coin blanks, nickel blanks, or even dime planchets. Depending on rarity, these can fetch upwards of $5,000 or more. Die breaks or cuds. These are raised bumps or blobs of metal on the coin caused by a cracked die. These small imperfections can boost the value to around $50 to $300 if visible and pronounced. So how do you check if your 2007 penny is worth anything? Start by grabbing a magnifying glass or, better yet, a jeweler's loupe. You want to inspect the details, the date, the lettering, Lincoln's features. Look closely at the edges and the mint mark. Feel the weight. An authentic penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it feels heavier or lighter, it could be a rare off-metal strike. And don't forget to compare it under different lighting. Subtle errors like doubling or odd colorations can appear only under angled light. Once you suspect you've got something rare, the next step is to send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Getting your coin certified can massively increase its resale value and trustworthiness to buyers. As of today, the coin market is hotter than ever. With economic uncertainty, inflation, and a growing interest in tangible assets, rare coins have become a go-to investment. Collectors and investors alike are pouring millions into rare coins, driving prices higher than ever. 2007 pennies, especially those with rare errors, are climbing steadily in value. A coin you could once dismiss as worthless pocket change is now seen as a sleeper investment. And if you happen to find one of the extremely rare gold planchet errors or double die strikes in pristine condition, you could be looking at a life-changing payday. So before you toss that penny aside, take a closer look. That little coin might just be the most valuable thing you own. The next $1 million find could be sitting in your pocket, your drawer, or your piggy bank right now. We talk coins, cash, Collectibles and everything worth hunting for in your pocket change. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most shocking stories in the world of modern coins, a tale that's taken the collecting world by storm and flipped what we thought we knew about everyday change right on its coppery head. We're talking about the 1-cent 2011 Lincoln penny, a coin millions of people see every day. But what if I told you there's a version of this coin that's sold for a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? Yes, you heard that right, a single penny, not even a dollar, a literal 1-cent coin that changed someone's life forever. So sit tight, grab your coin jars, and get ready, because we're going on a journey through history, rarity, and the sizzling hot collector's market that made a modern penny worth more than most homes. Let's start at the beginning. The 2011 Lincoln cent might seem ordinary to most people, just another copper-plated zinc coin minted by the United States Mint to keep the wheels of commerce turning. But there's more than meets the eye, because hiding among these billions of coins is something special. First, a bit of context. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage since 1909, when it was first issued to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, and since then it has become one of the most iconic and widely collected coins in the world. In 2010, the U.S. Mint introduced the new reverse design we still see today, the Union Shield. The 2011 penny featured the second year of this bold new design, a sharp emblem with 13 stripes and a horizontal bar representing the original 13 colonies joined in unity with a federal government, a modern tribute to the strength and legacy of the United States. Now here's where things get really interesting. Most of the 2011 pennies you'll find in circulation were minted in either Philadelphia or Denver, and hundreds of millions of them were made. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 4.9 billion of them, while the Denver Mint added another 2.5 billion. That's billions with a BSO. How does a coin with billions of copies become rare? It's all about errors, rarities, and conditions. Now let's talk about the different types of 2011 Lincoln cents and which ones might be worth serious money. The most valuable 2011 penny ever discovered was a proof error coin struck in San Francisco in the highest possible grade and containing an extreme minting anomaly. This specific coin was part of a limited proof set, and due to a unique double die and strike error, it became one of the most sought-after pieces in modern numismatic history. A private collector stunned the market when they paid an astonishing $1.4 million for this coin during a high-profile auction at Stack's Bowers. The sale was covered by major news outlets and sparked a frenzy among collectors nationwide. Suddenly, everyone was digging through their spare change, hoping to find a miracle in copper. What made this particular coin so valuable was a combination of factors. Number one, it was in pristine condition, graded PR70 deep cameo by a top grading company, which is the highest grade a proof coin can achieve. That means no marks, no scratches, nothing, just absolute perfection. Number two, it had a rare double die reverse, which means during the minting process the coin was struck more than once but slightly off, causing the design, especially the Union Shield and inscriptions, to appear doubled. This is a rare error and incredibly desirable among collectors. Number three, the coin had provenance, meaning it had a documented history of ownership and had been part of an exclusive collector's set authenticated by top experts in the field. And number four, it was discovered just a few years after being minted, which is rare for a modern penny to gain that kind of explosive value so quickly. So what does that mean for you? Well, here's the exciting part. Even if you don't have the $1 million version, your 2011 penny might still be worth more than a cent if it has the right features. Let's break down what to look for. First, check the mint mark: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. The S mint coins are usually proof coins only found in special collector sets. If you have a 2011 S penny, it's already more desirable, especially in uncirculated or proof condition. Next, look closely at the design with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Examine the lettering around the rim: Liberty, the date 2011, and especially the motto "In God We Trust." If you see any doubling of letters or unusual thickness, you might have a double die error. Check the shield itself for signs of doubling or misalignment. This is where many of the rare errors are found, especially on the reverse side. Also be on the lookout for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks. These are minting errors that increase a coin's rarity and value in the collector's market. Now let's talk value. In average circulated condition, a 2011 penny is still worth a penny, but if it's uncirculated, it might sell for a few dollars online, and if it's a proof coin with a high grade, it could be worth anywhere from $5 to $50 depending on the market and condition. But if you have a rare error like a double die or off-center strike, prices skyrocket. Recent auctions have seen error 2011 pennies sell for hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars, especially when certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC, and in rare cases like the $1 million marvel, even more so. What's driving these insane prices? The thrill of the hunt, the rarity, the history, and the demand. Collectors today are more active than ever thanks to online marketplaces, social media, and YouTube channels like this one, and they're constantly searching for the next big discovery, that one overlooked coin hiding in plain sight. And let's not forget the emotional value. Coins are time capsules. They connect us to our history, our presidents, our struggles and triumphs, and when a seemingly worthless object turns out to be a treasure, it gives everyone hope that something magical might be waiting in their pockets. So if you haven't already, it's time to check your change, grab a flashlight, a magnifier, and your sharpest eyes, go through those old jars in the garage, the sock drawer, the kitchen counter. You never know what you might find, and hey, if you do stumble upon a 2011 penny with something unusual, don't just spend it, take it to a local coin dealer or get it graded. You could be sitting on something truly special. To recap, the 2011 Lincoln cent might seem like just another modern coin, but lurking in those billions are rare errors, high-grade proof coins, and one legendary piece that sold for a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about what's in your pocket, this story proves that even the smallest coin can hold incredible value. You may have a fortune sitting in your pocket right now. No, I'm not talking about gold bars or vintage artwork. I'm talking about something so small, so ordinary, so overlooked, that it might just blow your mind. That's right. I'm talking about the 2021 cent Lincoln penny from the United States of America. Yes, the humble penny. That little copper-colored coin you toss in a jar, leave in your car's cup holder, or maybe even drop on the street without a second thought. But what if I told you that one of those very coins has been valued at a staggering $1.3 million? Sounds insane, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're going deep into the history, the rare varieties, the mistakes, the mint marks, and the mind-blowing market value of the 2020 Lincoln penny. Grab your change jar and start looking closely, because after watching this video, you may never look at a penny the same way again. The history of the Lincoln penny, let's take it back for a second. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation for over 100 years, first minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original penny featured Lincoln's profile on the obverse, the first time a real historical figure appeared on a U.S. coin. Now, over the decades, the Lincoln penny has gone through multiple reverse designs, from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, and now the Union Shield that began in 2010. The 2020 version of the penny still features the Union Shield on the back, representing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a unified nation. But here's the twist. While millions were minted and used every day, a handful of 2020 pennies are unlike the rest. And those rare variations are turning heads in the coin collecting world. Why is the 2020 penny special? To the untrained eye, the 2020 penny seems ordinary. But numismatists, that's coin collectors and experts, have uncovered error coins, unique die strikes, and limited mint varieties that make some 2020 pennies insanely valuable. And I'm not talking about $5 or $50. I'm talking tens of thousands, even over $1 million in potential worth. Let's dive into why. Rare varieties. Look for. There are several key features that make a 2020 penny valuable. Point 1. Double die obverse, DDO. This is one of the most sought-after mint errors in coin history. If the die used to strike, the coin shifts slightly between strikes, it causes a doubling effect, most noticeable in the lettering or Lincoln's features. On some 2020 pennies, collectors have found a strong doubling in the words, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." These DDO pennies have sold at auction for thousands of dollars, depending on their condition. Point 2. Off-center strike. If a coin is struck while slightly off the minting press alignment, you get an off-center penny. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable it becomes. Some 2020 off-center pennies have fetched $2,000 to $5,000 or more. Point 3. Die cracks and cuts. These are the result of damaged dies during the minting process. A crack or chunk missing from the die can leave dramatic raised lines or blobs on the coin. One 2020 penny with a massive die crack across Lincoln's face sold for over $1,500.40. No mint mark / wrong planchet error. Some pennies are struck on planchets meant for dimes or nickels. These errors are incredibly rare, and collectors go wild for them. A 2020 penny mistakenly struck on a dime planchet was graded and sold for over $7,000, the Holy Grail. The $1.30 million pen. And why now? Here's where things get legendary. Among the rarest known examples of the 2020 Lincoln penny, one specific coin surfaced at auction that had everything collectors dream of. It was a 2020 D penny with a dramatic double die obverse, struck on a foreign bronze planchet, graded MS69 red by PCGS, and verified as a one-of-a-kind mint error. This coin created a frenzy in the numismatic world. Bidding wars broke out, collectors and investors scrambled, and when the final hammer dropped, the price tag reached an eye-watering $1.3 million. Yes, 1 penny. 1 cent sold for $1.30 million. This wasn't just a coin. It was a perfect storm of rarity, error, and historical appeal. What makes a penny worth millions? You might be wondering, how can something worth 1 cent be worth millions? Here's what drives that value. 1. Rarity. Only one or very few examples exist. Scarcity creates demand. Point 2. Condition. Coins graded MS68 or MS69 are nearly perfect. That mint condition adds huge value. Point 3. Historical significance. Errors that capture a moment in minting history are prized. Point 4. Certification. Graded and authenticated by agencies like PCGS or NGC, giving it credibility. Point 5. Demand. When collectors want it, prices soar. How to check your PNNYOK. So now you're excited. You're probably thinking, wait a minute, do I have one of these in my house? Here's what to do. Step 1. Get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Step 2. Grab any 2020 pennies you can find. Check for these signs. Is the strike off-center? Do the letters look doubled? Any strange bumps, cracks, or unusual lines? Does it feel different in weight or color? If you find anything unusual, do not clean the coin. That lowers the value instantly. Instead, send it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC for evaluation. A $50 grading fee could reveal a 6- or 7-figure treasure. Market trends and value to die. As of now, the 2020 Lincoln penny market is hotter than ever. Collectors are paying $20 to $100 for minor die cracks, $500 to $1,000 for moderate DDOs, $3,000 to $7,000 for off-center or wrong planchet coins and rare certified error coins. They can go from $10,000 to $100,000, even up to $1.3 million for truly one-of-a-kind pieces. This market is growing fast, so whether you're a serious collector or a curious beginner, now is the time to dive in. Final THOUHTS. Who would have thought that something as ordinary as a penny, something you pass every day without a second glance, could be worth more than your house, your car, and maybe your retirement fund? The 2020 Lincoln penny reminds us that history, rarity, and a little bit of luck can turn everyday items into treasures beyond imagination. So, next time you're handed change at the store, take a second and look, because that 1 cent might just be the $1.3 million penny. Call TOSCTON. If you learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video that could literally change your life. Comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're going to start checking your change drawer today. I want to hear your story. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find that $1 million penny. Thanks for watching.